Bacon oil?
Bacon oil is trash. Yeah.
No, I won't
But
do
if
it.
I make something very light, like maduros or tostones, I put the pan right in the oven with the oil, and I'm like,
As
this
you
is
should.
ghetto as hell. At least I don't put it in a mason jar and shit and try to like recycle it from there. I'm Honey German. My parents are Dominican. I was born and raised in New York City. I love sneakers, and I'm a body positive advocate.
I'm Carolina Bermudez. Soy nicaragüense, but I was born and raised in Ohio. I'm a wife, a mama, and a worker bee. This is Life in Spanglish.
Good morning, Carolina.
Good morning, honey. I'm about to sabotage your trip.
You are not. What trip?
Girl.
Which trip?
Well, by the way, that's Honey German.
And that's Carolina Bermudez over there on the other side.
About to sabotage your life.
My life? Talk to me.
I got a shipment today.
What kind of shipment?
Girl Scout cookies.
Please don't do that.
And I know you're leaving in like 3 weeks.
Yo, look, I'm having green tea for breakfast. We're like doing the 12-hour fasting situation. Me and my girlfriends, everybody who's going on the trip.
Right.
Our stomachs need to be on flat. So we're like doing nothing. We're doing nothing but water and tea till noon.
So you don't want any caramel delights?
Well, I'm pretty sure I can hoard them until after the trip. I'll take those.
I was watching your Instagram story and I saw Ashley sent you one of those like animated kind of talking heads. And she was like, only green tea or water, girls. I said, about to fuck her up right now. I just got my Girl Scout shipment.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Ready to thicken me up.
No, you know what, honey? I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see what kind of outfits you're going to be wearing.
You know what's crazy? It's like I just bring a bunch of clothes and then I put them together there.
Do you
But
really?
everybody assumes I like strategically plan all my outfits. And my friend Lillian, she's like, we got to get our outfits in order because
I don't have time for that.
I'm like, listen, I just throw in a bunch of clothes that
might work.
go together.
Yeah.
And I like to pick like color schemes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, we're going to do neon, throw a bunch of neon shit in the suitcase.
Like your neutral heels or your clear heels.
That's it.
Because that way it's like you can work with every single outfit, even though your toes are going to be barking at the end. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so old. I went to a bar mitzvah this past week. When I tell you on Sunday, my hips hurt.
Not your
my
hips,
knee,
Carolina.
Girl,
You're a liar. You're such a good shape.
I swear to you, my hips were hurting. I took some Aleve. I said to my husband, can you go and give me an ice pack or something? I was like, oh man. I was like.
From dancing or just standing?
From dancing.
Oh,
my
that's good.
ass off.
Okay. So at least you had fun.
In heels. So that's what I'm going to. This is a public service announcement to women. Do you know Victoria Beckham says that she rarely wears heels anymore?
For real?
Because they messed her up so bad.
Well,
Heels.
She stayed in a damn stiletto like her whole life existence. She was in heels.
As she should, as Posh Spice.
Well, that's no pressure.
But no, it was so funny because I was like thinking to myself, man, I should have worn my Superstars, my Adidas, and just like not give a crap what anybody thinks. But it was a formal event and I paid for it. I even did the old woman thing where you grab onto the coffee table.
What did you do?
Girl, I did not
You was throwing it back?
dancing. I was throwing it back. I mean,
Did you do any line dancing? I hate all those dances. The cha-cha slide, the hokey pokey.
No, this was not that kind of a party.
They didn't have fun, crazy fun?
No, this was very, very sophisticated.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know how I got on this list.
Oh, you threw me off with all this dancing. Sophisticated people be sitting the whole time. I'm over here thinking you were like in a bag.
We turned it up. It was so amazing. So I was thinking of you when I was in the shower.
Oh, well.
You know.
Okay, then.
Hold on, let me flip my hair. Because I want to know, Honey German, did you ever have a full bottle of shampoo or conditioner growing up?
In the house?
Mm-hmm.
How? Well, maybe the first day it came out. But that was about it. And it was always Tresemme because we were like we were 4 women in the house.
Oh, so no, you guys had some like good shit in your house then.
That was good. I felt like that was.
Girl, you don't know anything if you haven't used the Suave.
Well, first of all, Suave is like borderline water.
Or
anything Suave.
White Rain. I used White Rain.
God damn, not even Pantene.
So I was thinking to myself because, well, now I use Oribe. By the way, they're not paying for this.
Okay.
But I did like the thing where I growing up. I had a little bit left. I said, oh no, hell no, I gotta wash my hair. Put it right up to the shower.
Of course.
Threw the water right in there, shook that puppy right up.
Especially if it's Oribe.
I mean,
we're not letting none of it go to waste.
I am trying to scrape the sides. I need the what is that called? The Scoop Daddy or something like that.
Again, listen, I use Moroccan oil, so you can only imagine. I need every single ounce of that shit.
But was your mom like that? Because my mom would
Of course
be like,
my mom was like that.
Vaya a ponerle un poquito de agua.
Listen, when the Palmolive dishwashing detergent was almost finished, my mom would be like, there is plenty. Put water.
She was like, you guys don't know what the struggle is.
I've even put water and lotion.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? It goes on nice and smooth.
It really does. It's a little bit more watery, but nah, man. Listen, we're using everything to the core. Even now, when I have my body washes, when it's almost finished, I no longer put it right side up. It's face down. So that I can get every single. What about my toothpaste?
Ass up.
I have the little thing that you slide up all the way through.
Yes. Yes. But see, that's the thing. It's like, why are we so like... I don't want. It's not, but it's not cheap. I don't think it. I would say it's more frugal. Yeah. But then you see us and we wear beautiful things. Like, I mean, I saw you. You were out in a gorgeous jacket the other day. And it's like
we buy nice things, but then we want to use the last little bit of toothpaste.
But then you scrimp and pinch everywhere else.
Listen, that's because of the things our parents taught us. It was just we were a lot.
Yeah.
And we had to make sure that every single little bit of everything was used.
And stretched. Like the lights. I caught myself the other day saying to my kids, turn off the lights. Because it's like the lights everywhere. And then I thought about it to myself. And you know what I even went around and did?
What you did? You started unplugging stuff?
Girl.
Carolina.
How many times
Carolina,
do you
leave? Stop. You were like, unplug. Before I go on vacation, I'll be doing that, though. I'll be like, this stuff's going to be sucking light while we gone.
Right, but then here's my question. Mm-hmm. My son has like one of those little Nintendo DS, and so that charger was in the
wall
outlet, but there was nothing charging to it. So, but I heard that it still takes a charge, even if you're doing that you should unplug it anyway.
I've heard that too. But I really don't think that's what's killing us with the light bill. I think it's when the summertime comes and we have the central air going 24 hours a day for 3 months.
Not in my house.
I think that's where the problem comes in.
Nope, the air gives you a cold. No, open up the door.
Get out of here, for real.
Yeah, let the breeze hit you.
Listen, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, I don't turn off the AC. I swear to God. Yeah.
I always catch a cold. I'm telling you, I'm like a little old lady. I need a scarf around my neck. I'll walk around with a scarf around my neck. I'm always freezing.
Oh, God, I know who you are.
I'm that girl. I am that. I have a pair of house Uggs, and they're not the real Uggs. They're like the bear paws. I don't wear shoes in my house. So I'll walk around with like my bear paws and because those don't leave the house.
Of course not.
No.
They'll get dirty if they leave the house.
But I just don't understand like how you're influenced by your parents. And then later on, like, when you're growing up, you think like, gosh, like get off my back. Like, geez, leave me alone. And then now look at me doing the same damn thing.
No, it's true. I still do all the things that my mom does. I swear to God. My rice is in soda cracker containers. The big green tin, that's where I have my rice.
As it should be.
Because I'm not throwing away that tin. That's a perfectly good tin.
Right?
And my shopping bags, I have all my shopping bags, whether they be plastic or paper. I'm using them for something.
We don't need a recycling center. Want to know why? Because we recycle in our home. I actually just Trader Joe's, the chocolate chip cookies, those little tiny. Do you go to Trader Joe's, girl?
Of course. Those dusty cookies, they're so hard and crunchy. And God forbid you eat them in bed. I love them too.
My kids love them. And so they finished one of those things.
It's a big tub. I know.
Oh, yeah. And I said to Oti, to their nini, I said, no. I said, eso lo vamos a guardar.
Keep that tub. Yeah, of course.
Podemos poner unos Legos ahí. And I told her, I said, we'll throw some Legos in there. Mm-hmm. Bring them downstairs. That's a Lego receptacle now.
Yes, it is.
These people, I saw one of the moms that I go to, one of my kids goes to school with her kid. They have these like beautiful little containers for Legos, like, and you can tell it's the Lego container.
Of course, they bought it at the Lego store, full price.
Gorgeous, just beautiful. Not in my house.
The cookie container is going to hold the Legos.
That is correct. But I was just trying to think, like, what are some things now that you do that you're like, damn, I'm better than, like, why am I doing this? But then secretly you're like, I won.
Saving all the plastic bags.
Yeah.
I have a whole drawer full of plastic bags. I don't know why.
You'll use them one day.
I used one last night. You know, somebody was in my house. They're like, can I get a bag? I was like, yes, of course you could get a bag. And I went to my bag drawer and I was like, here it is. I do a lot of different things. And I'm like, why am I still doing this? Like when I have that old toothpaste and I'm like, until I don't get the last little bit of toothpaste out of this, we're not going to throw it away.
Can I give you a tip?
What?
Okay. When you're done rolling it out and you know that you
don't tell me what I think you're going to tell me.
No, you go first and I'll tell you because this is like a pro tip.
Don't tell me you're going to tell me to get a scissor and cut it open. You mad ratchet, Carolina. You are so ratchet.
No, but Here's the trick. You gotta cut it close to the top, right? Because you gotta cover it up. You don't want you don't want it to dry out.
because we're gonna use it more after we cut it. I thought that was like the last toothpaste situation.
Absolutely. You cut the top off, so then that can cover the bottom. Then you cut it in the middle, right? Then you cut the middle, and hopefully, if you're following me, then you can get the stuff out from like the middle portion. But then you use the top to cover the bottom,
Here we go.
so that you can continue to use it. That's another week.
That's some real ratchet shit right there. Because toothpaste is like $2. You know another thing that I do that
Not my crest whitening.
Oh, here we go. Now she got $4.99. You better go on Walmart and buy in bulk.
I buy it at BJ's. Trust me, I don't care if that's expired. I'm like, good. That peroxide will work even better.
Give it to me. You know what I do that's super like old school? I clean my ring with ketchup.
Wait, what?
Yes. I clean my wedding and engagement rings in ketchup because when I was young, going to the jeweler to clean jewelry was like not a thing. And there was no jewelry cleaner cloth and electronic sonic machines. So my parents used to clean their jewelry in ketchup.
I've never heard this before. What is the reasoning behind it?
There is some type of component in ketchup that makes the gold and the diamonds and everything super shiny and bright. Yes, and I still do that, and it's just like I need to stop. I have a whole sonic machine. I don't know where it is, but I have it. I'm like I should just shake up my jewelry while I brush my teeth.
Do you know? I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Do you know how I wash how I clean my jewelry?
How?
Effordent. Denture tabs.
The denture tabs.
For real. This girl told me super hot water and you put like half of it because I'm not using a whole tab.
Of course not. You won't cut it in half.
I'm gonna cut it in half. Sometimes into fours, okay? Into quarters. So yeah, you just put half of it in there, super hot water, and then you because I guess the bubbles take off a lot of the dirt and grime. Then you take it out and you use like a Q-tip or a toothpick and it'll get all of that like lotion and
all in
the
there.
Debris and all that stuff. I mean, we are giving you the realness right now.
We really are. We really, really are.
I'm giving you all the tips.
You know what's another thing that I do that I'm like, I have got to do better?
What?
I save old oil. So if I make tostones today, I save it for tomorrow. I'm like, no, tomorrow I might fry something else.
No, because you know why?
First of all, I don't
It tastes better that way when you use the old oil. I'm not
does.
disagreeing with you. I do the same thing. The only one, I draw the line at bacon.
Bacon oil is trash, yeah.
No, I won't
But
do
if
it.
I make something very light, like maduros or tostones, I put the pan right in the oven with the oil, and I'm like, this is ghetto as hell. At least I don't put it in a mason jar and shit and try to like recycle it from there. You do? I can't. I thought my level of ratchetness was at an all-time high.
But see, I hide my ratchetness.
I
pretend like I'm sophisticated.
You have a mason jar full of oil?
Of course I do.
Talk about take from that.
By the way, it's not a mason jar. It's that old jelly jar that I washed out.
Not a jelly jar. I'm done with you.
Yeah, and it's not just any jelly because my husband is a little bit snooty. I buy the Bon Mama or something. Have you ever tried it?
No, I use Welch's grape.
No, I got to hook you up. This is good.
For real?
No, for real. It's like
I love me a spread, some jam, some, that's my thing.
This is the realness. You know where they serve it? Like at Sarah Beth's. So it's highfalutin.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You got to like buy it from a bougie restaurant to bring it home.
I think they have it at Target.
They have it at Target? Oh, okay.
I'm going to hook you up next time at Target. No, but I will. And that's why my husband says to me, he's like, you buy a jug of oil from BJ's. Mm-hmm. But you're saving oil. I said, you could use that oil again.
Ese aceite está bueno. Mañana tú puedes freír otro plátano. Tú puedes freír empanada, tu queso frito, un chin de salami. Everything. That old oil is good.
Un chin de salami. I love it.
I love salami frito. Well, not anymore. Because,
you're on the diet.
I'm like fake bougie and I gave up meat. I gave up meat a long time ago. I gave up meat like 6 years ago.
Did you? Really? You don't eat any type of red meat?
I eat white meat. I don't eat any pork and I don't eat any red meat. And
so
it was
like
amazing for my digestive system.
I actually gave up meat when I was like 14 years old.
What?
Terrible story.
That's young.
Terrible story.
Oh God, I don't know if I want to hear it.
Yeah, you probably don't want to hear it. But terrible story. I ended up becoming a vegetarian. Just totally messed myself up. At 14, it was awful. Let's just put it this way. I had to visit a slaughterhouse. After I went there, I lived in Ohio, which I remind you guys.
Yeah. That would have left me traumatized too at 14.
Absolutely. And so I didn't do things the right way. And so I was like trying to, become a vegetarian. So then I was like eating a bunch of carbs and whatever.
Yeah, bunch of junk, yeah, because you don't know what you're doing. It's not like you're cooking at 14.
Yeah, you're a kid. Or my mom would make me like rice and beans, and I would survive off of that.
Yeah, you were just getting the sides, honey. Nobody was making you no special meals.
No, oh, are you kidding me?
Talk about sauteed vegetables with tofu.
Hell no, never in my life. No, my mom wouldn't even buy tofu for me. She would just be like, if you want to do this madness, like you get through it yourself.
Di que mira, esto fue lo que yo cociné.
I know.
O te lo come o te muere de hambre.
That's exactly it.
Tú decides.
And by the way, I'm saying that to my kids now too. So anyway, I started incorporating white meats like fish and chicken into my diet, and then I just went full blown like ham.
You were like, pass a steak.
I was just nuts. You
Medium
know when
rare.
it was? When I got pregnant with my son Noah.
You started feeding for meat?
Craving.
Really?
The biggest, most giant burger. Like, I don't know why. And I said, like, am I iron deficient? I was a little bit anemic, but nothing like crazy.
But nothing that'll make you crave a whole burger.
I made my husband take me to Peter Luger's like every other week.
They got the bomb cuts, though.
Girl,
I'm not gonna hold
that
you.
bacon was just something to write home about. I'm not even kidding you. So it's like I went through that whole thing, like where I stopped and then I did the white meat and then I did, the red meat. And now, I don't know. I feel like I should, but it's Lent. Do you observe Lent? Like,
no, I do not.
So you don't give anything up?
I feel super deprived as it is when it comes to food and stuff like that. And I don't have vices. It's not like if I drink maybe once or twice a month. I don't smoke. Yeah, because I only drink if I go out and I feel like having a drink or I'm pressured into having a drink. Alcohol has never been like a real like big part of my life. I think I always shied away from it and vices because my father was an alcoholic and he drank, and my father, he was into drugs. It was the 90s.
So
actually
it did you a favor
because
it completely turned you off.
I have, and that'll bring me to maybe our next topic that we can discuss today. Like, do you think that your kids can inherit, certain DNA traits? My mom always put it in our minds like, oh, your father was an alcoholic. I don't want any of you guys to drink. Your father, played with drugs. I don't want any of you guys to do it because I feel like that's in your DNA and you can potentially be just like him.
Yeah.
Do you think your kids can inherit, those type of traits from a parent?
1,000,000%. And it's actually backed by science. Your DNA, it is already decided for you when you're born. Like, that is it. So you could even have parents who are not drinkers, but because you have an uncle or you have a grandfather, they talk about different diseases like children who are predisposed to have like depression, anxiety, things like that. My grandfather was depressed a lot. And especially more like as he got older, and my parents never understood because they don't suffer from mental illness. Like they don't have anything that they,
it wasn't passed along, through. Or maybe it never like surfaced.
Yes. And so when I used to tell them when I was like 13, 14, and I had mentioned to you that I lost my best friend, and I would say I'm depressed, like I don't know what's going on, like, and I didn't even know that word.
You didn't know what it was. You just know how you felt.
I would say to them like, I feel like something's wrong. Like I would just say to them, I don't feel right. Like and they just had no idea how to deal with it because they had never gone through it themselves. So, I will tell you, I do believe that it does. It passes through. And, as a drinker, as a person who has alcoholism in my family, I worry about that. But then I also say, like, I'm more responsible, I think. Like, I don't drink every day. I actually gave up wine for Lent.
Oh, which you did?
Yeah.
That's
because
amazing. Good.
I would find myself, like, at 4 or 5 o'clock, like, while I'm cooking dinner for the boys, like, I would always have, like, my one glass of wine.
Did you feel like it was a treat, like, to yourself, or did you actually want it?
No, you know what it is? I feel like I just kind of got into the habit of like just every, and not even every night because some nights I wouldn't, but I felt like it was just like, no, I'm getting a little too comfortable with this right now.
Yeah.
You know
so
what I
you
mean?
were able to like pull yourself back.
Yeah. So somebody said, well, what are you going to drink now? And I said tequila. but I'm not like slamming.
That's the Patron.
I'm not slamming Patron on Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying?
Cannot.
Yeah. So it's like, this past weekend we went out and I had a couple of drinks, but it's like now it's Monday through Friday. I won't be drinking. And I think that it's going to kind of shift my perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do think it's like, you look at families where I have to be honest, I look at LeBron James and I think of his kids and I'm like, how hard is it going to be for these kids? Yes. Are they athletically inclined? Sure. Their dad's LeBron James, but they also got their mama's DNA.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's where people think, oh, LeBron James's son, who's actually very talented, is going to surpass his dad. You don't know that.
You don't know that.
And I feel like that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid.
It is a lot of pressure. That's like Blue Ivy. Like everyone believes that child is going to be a musical genius.
Yeah, but you know what? I think Blue Ivy is going to be running everybody.
She really is.
She is
really
such such a like sassy little girl.
So you think Jay-Z, Beyonce DNA is in her, and she's about to be probably like one of the best musicians in the world? Or do you think she might not even like music?
That's the thing. It's like you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Or it could be that she she could go into something like science, or you know what I'm saying? It's like it's whatever. I think the best way for a parent to deal with something like that is to cultivate whatever talent your child gravitates towards. So if your child loves science and math and STEM, throw them in all the classes you can, my kids, I even said to Mark before, I'm gonna have my kids try everything, and whatever they want to do, they're gonna do.
Let them pick. Yeah, because that's another thing with parents. I feel like sometimes they push their kids to do things that they never did. Like in my family, we were never allowed to do sports or any extracurricular activity. My mom, she was just really like an island person. Like she didn't see I want to be a cheerleader for what? Bring your ass home to clean. Or like I want to be part of the volleyball team. No, you're not going to be part of the volleyball team. We have shit to do at home. It was like.
Well, I guess it would. I mean, to be fair to your mom, though, wasn't she a single mom for a while?
She was. My mom was a single mom, and she used to work. So I guess she always wanted us just to go straight home after school. I guess it took away some of the stress of thinking, where are the kids? So it's like we always went straight home. But a lot of parents, like in my generation now, and even in my own family, a lot of the kids, we make them do things. We put them in sports because we never did it.
No.
It's like my niece did everything. My niece did baseball. My niece did karate. She did dance. She did soccer. She did all the things we didn't want. We never got to do.
Yeah.
And I really don't think she's gonna do any of that stuff.
Right.
It's like, she played softball since she was a child. I don't think she's going to do that in college or anything. But I think we kind of forced it, I guess, because we never did anything.
Right.
And we supported it, and we were super hyped that she was doing anything.
Right.
But I don't know if those were really her choices at any point.
There's a great documentary that I just watched. It's so funny you're bringing this up. It's called In Search of Greatness. If you have the chance, check it out.
Okay.
I watched it on the plane, and it follows Pele, Wayne Gretzky, and Jerry Rice. By the way, my co-host Cubby was like, "You are the most random person I know." He's like, "Why are you watching sports documentaries?" I said, "Because it's interesting."
Listen, some of those people are amazing and sit in a seat of their own, like the greatest to ever do
Wayne Gretzky?
You have to know how these people got to be, the best tennis player of all time.
Yes, they talked
Williams.
about Serena.
How did she get there?
Yep,
and there's so many other tennis players. They did something different.
Well, they said that it's a combination, and I'm paraphrasing, but they said it's a combination of someone who has that passion and that fire to turn whatever it is that they're doing upside down. They think of doing it so differently, and they won't stop. It's like a rage that goes inside of them, and I'm like, I could see Serena Williams. Was Venus the best for a while? Oh yeah, but even they interviewed Serena's father in one of them, and he said I'm not trying to compare my daughters. Venus is good, but Serena will be the best.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just there's something innate, and they talk about DNA and parents, how we're overscheduling our kids, and that's the one thing that I will say with my children, and they even say that overscheduling children is one of the main causes of breakups for families, because you're already stressed out with your own responsibilities. Your husband has his own responsibilities. Then if you have a kid or you have two kids and they're doing activities 4 or 5 times a week, forget it.
Your relationship is non-existent at this point.
When do you connect?
Even as a wife, because it's like you're at work, then you're cleaning, you're cooking, and then you're the chauffeur for the kids, and you're doing homework.
Absolutely. I say I'm mommy Uber, you know? So we limit it to 3 things. The kids can do 3 things, and my kids do them together. So Noah and Asher take tennis on Mondays together.
That's good. So you're not overspending yourself.
Exactly.
It's like one will be at tennis and then you're running to karate. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, but you know what? This documentary, I'm telling you, just in general,
I just brought it up. I'm going to make sure
you
I see
should watch it,
Yeah.
because just as far as and I know you're such a hard worker, and we both have that same mentality, that go-getter mentality. It gives you such insight into what it takes to be a champion. And there are so many people out there who think, because I didn't get to play, basketball in college, I'm going to make sure my kid goes to basketball. You want to know something? Wayne Gretzky even said it. His friends were going to the movies, and his dad would be like, "Why aren't you going to the movies with your friends?" He was like, "No." He would be out in his backyard just hitting pucks for 2 hours straight in a row, because he had that passion, that drive. You can't force that on someone.
You really can't. And I say it all the time. The other day I asked my husband, I'm like, why do you think it happened for me me and it didn't happen for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's a lot of people with dreams,
Sure.
of being on the radio, of even people that are on the radio of coming to New York. And I asked him, why do you think it happened for me and maybe not someone else?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what he said? He said, bitch, you were obsessed with this shit.
That's it.
This is all you thought about. This is all you worked on for years. Coming back to something every few days and touching it doesn't make for a dream to come true.
Right.
He's like, it was going to happen for you because you only talked about this. And I thought back and I'm like, you know what? He's right. I would wake up and that's all I talked about. And I want to be on the radio and I want to do radio and I want to do media and I want to do this. And I'm going to open up my own website and I'm going to do radio wherever I can grab a mic. And, to the point that my family was probably sick of me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't even know like how Bella and Noonie did it, because I was like every single day complaining and then working, and they'd be like, what are you doing for lunch? Oh no, I'm doing my website for lunch. And it was like, it became an obsessive behavior. And I kind of like said, oh, okay, maybe that is why it happened, because it was a combination of like an obsessive behavior, a dream that stayed in focus on a daily basis, and a large chunk of hard work.
And a little bit of luck.
Yes.
A little bit of luck. And they address that in
being
this
at the right place at the right time, I feel like is key.
Okay. Also, just to go one further, seizing the opportunity.
Of course.
Too often people, they're in the right place at the right time, meet the right people, and then they're like, okay, this is cool, I got this. And then they don't do anything. That's why you're incessant, the grind, like what you were doing, waking up, living, eating, breathing it. That's what makes a champion.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was with Thea on Saturday and we were at
Thea's our big boss
yes,
here.
She's our super coach. And we were together at a Women in Radio event. And, I talked about when I started working here, and she piggybacked off of that. And she was like, I interviewed Honey and I told her this job barely pays anything. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And she was like, in 6 months, you're barely going to be making anything. And I was like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem.
Yep.
Just give me the job. I got it. And then when I came here, I mentioned how I didn't do anything for like almost 2 years socially. Like I came here and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna kill it. Another area of obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You just have to kind of like put it in your mind and just go crazy with it. Like this is the only thing. Tunnel vision. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, and I think that applies to anything that you do.
Anything.
Yeah.
Whether it be nursing school, whether it be opening up a business,
whether you're a paralegal, you want to be a lawyer, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to have that mentality.
You do, especially if you want to be the best that ever did it. Mm-hmm. You have to be focused. You have to work day in and day out, not come back every now and then. Like people tell me they want things and then I don't even hear them talking about it or working like, oh, I want to own my own business or I want to do a clothing line, and then they talk to me about it like today, and then I never see them work on anything for like 3 months, and I'm like, you really don't want a clothing line.
Yeah, if you want to do a clothing line, you better be over at the fabrics, picking out fabrics, cutting your own stuff, making your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like working with somebody who can, or getting the best person on your team. So that's my homework assignment to you, is go watch that documentary. I'm
really gonna watch it. I just opened up a new tab on my computer to make sure, because that's how I remind myself of everything. In Search of Greatness, and I'm definitely gonna take a look at it.
And I think it's just so great for anybody who's listening. If you have a little brother, or if you have a little brother or sister, or if you have like children, even your husband or your wife, like whatever it is, you guys watch this together. It'll shift your perspective on how to raise successful children. The doctor or the scientist that was on it, he said that we're not letting our kids be creative enough. So it's like we're structuring them to the point where it's like, well now what do I do?
Yeah.
You know what? That's where the big difference is. When I was younger, my mom would never plan a play date for me. I don't think I ever had a play date when I was younger.
I don't know what a play date was. I played with my brothers and sisters.
Exactly. And so it's like, I feel like that's kind of more of an American thing. And I think that ties into the reason why we're doing this podcast. Mm-hmm. It's like life in Spanglish. Like a lot of the things that my American, I was born and raised here, but I think culturally it's very different.
It is, yeah.
My mom would never take me to these mommy and me things, and I'm not faulting her for it. She just didn't know. That's not part of what she was raised like. She didn't.
Yeah, and I talk to my mom now, like as an adult, and she's like, my mom was from un campo in Dominican Republic. My mom had her kids at home.
Yeah.
My mom washed her clothes by hand. I didn't know no different. She's like, it's not that I didn't want to be a good mom. It's not that I didn't want to go shopping with you or talk to you about prom. It's just I was like, bottom line, basic.
Well, it's like you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You can't expect somebody who doesn't know a certain way of living to act a certain way.
Yeah, it's like my grandmother expected her daughters to just cook, clean, and by like 18 find a husband,
be married,
and go off.
Yes.
You know, there was no encouragement of like, go to a university, or, you know, we're gonna do this. My mom tells me all the time, she's like, you know, me and my sisters shared like one lipstick.
Did your mom, and I don't want to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but did your mom ever tell you what she ever wanted to be? Did your mom have dreams like as a daughter, or as like, I'm sorry, did your mom have dreams as a little girl?
Sometimes I think she wanted to be like a hairdresser because she always like would buy hair salons and stuff like that. But my mom did go to school as an adult and became a psychologist.
Wow.
Yeah, like in her 40s, my mom went back to college.
That's amazing.
And she got her degree. So she is like a child psychologist.
How proud are you of your mom?
I am super proud of my mom. And, you know, it's crazy because it's like we were all adults now and kind of like teens. And she was just like, okay, I'm going to go to college now. And she doesn't practice, which is weird.
You know what? Maybe it was just that she accomplished it. It might have been one of those things that was in the back of her mind and she always wanted it. I sat down with my mom one time when she came to come and help me with my boys. And I asked her, I said, Mom, did you ever because my mom devoted her life to us.
Yeah.
She never worked a day in her life. Never.
Oh,
never
wow.
earned a paycheck,
Okay.
my mom. And she said that her payment was us.
Aw,
you know, I
yeah.
mean, she did. And now it's her grandkids. And so one day we were just sitting down. We were having a glass of wine together. We were on the couch, and I said to her, I was like, Mom, did you ever have a dream like when you were little? Like, what did you want to be? You know?
Yeah.
And she got emotional, and I feel like that was such a moment for us.
I can imagine.
You know?
It's a moment for me right now.
I know.
And I
I know.
wasn't
Even
there.
I'm getting like,
Yeah.
And she said to me, she goes, you know, when I was a little girl, I always dreamed of being a flight attendant.
Oh my God.
And I said, you did? And mind you, my mom has never traveled outside of like the United States, like Nicaragua. She's gone back several times, but like, you know, never gone to Europe or anywhere, you know, that's been kind of like her dream.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, I said, Mom, I said, you did? She goes, yeah. She goes, but then I got pregnant and, you know, I had to push those dreams aside. She goes, but I always wanted to see the world. And that's the reason why when my mom and dad turned 70 and 75, I said to my brothers, we have to send her to Europe.
That's amazing.
I said, she's got to go. I want her to experience it, you know, but it's like, you don't think, and this is something that I tell my kids now because I never realized it until I was older. You grow up, or at least I did, thinking your parents are perfect. Damn, my mom got it right.
Or they don't matter. Like their dreams, or if they're sad, or anything.
You don't even think about that because they hold it together. You know, like I remember seeing my mom get upset. She would go into her room and she would cry, and then she would come back out like pulled all together, and then she would be like, "Okay, vamos a comer, vamos a hacer esto." You know, like she would just like get it together. But then now there are times where I'll mess up, or Noah will say, Mommy, you didn't do that. And I say, you know what, Noah, Mommy's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. I don't want to set up this unrealistic expectation for my kids because like, not that I ever want to disappoint them, but I don't want them to be disappointed by the fact later on when they find out that, hey, my mom and dad weren't perfect, you know? And so I just thought that was interesting to like circle back. And a lot of times women have to give up their dreams because they're the ones that are left at home. You know?
Yeah. Or they're left as single moms and they have to provide. And it's just.
And then it's like, well, when am I going to have time to finish a degree? You know, I need to make money now to support my family. Or, you know.
That was a thing with my mom. And another thing that I feel like she sacrificed was being emotional or showing any affection. You know, that's another conversation that I have with my mom all the time. I'm like, you know, I don't remember you hugging me, and I don't remember you kissing me, and I don't remember you telling me you loved me or that I was special or that I had a gift.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you know, I had to be the man and I had to be the woman. I couldn't be the mushy mom you wanted me to be and coddle you guys, because I was like, you know, in Manhattan working at a factory trying to make ends meet and, you know, trying to see if I can get welfare to make sure you guys ate. So there was no, and it's crazy because it's like, she's apologetic about it now.
Yeah.
Now my mom is 60 and now she's like, you know,
she's so young.
I want a different dynamic. I want a different relationship. And, you know, and she called like a meeting with like me and my sisters, and we talked about that. And we talked about the fact that our relationship is strained because we never felt loved by our mom.
Oh.
It's so crazy. And she said, I had to sacrifice being a mom, coddling you, holding you, telling you I love you, telling you you were being amazing, because I didn't have a dad to discipline. I didn't have a dad to say you couldn't go. I had to be that person. I had to be the one to say, you're not going, go to sleep. That's not possible. You're not getting it. So she had to sacrifice bonding with 3 daughters in order to be able to just, I guess, raise us and be successful at raising us. Parents make a lot of sacrifices. And I feel like she closed off her heart the whole time that she was raising us in order not to be soft.
Really?
And it sucks. It really, really sucks. Like, I feel like if my parents would have been together, my mom would have been a totally different person.
I don't disagree.
It's crazy.
I think that
parents make huge sacrifices.
But what a moment for your mom to be able to. That's huge for everybody. I mean, that had to give you a little bit of like comfort, knowing that it wasn't something that you did that made her not feel that way. It was because she was trying to just raise you in the best way that she could.
It's crazy because like I always grew up like my mom doesn't love me because I never heard. I love you. You're special. You're going to be amazing. It was just always like, vete a fregar, vete a limpiar, bájate la falda. It was just always discipline. It was never come lay in bed with me.
Right. Come cuddle.
Come cuddle with me. Or I love you. You're so special. You're going to be amazing. It was never, ever that.
Can I tell you something though? I think part of the reason why you are so successful is because of that.
You think?
I really, truly do. I really, truly do. You know why? Because in the back of your mind, you were probably like, well, I'm going to show her.
100%.
I'm going to be
150%.
the best. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like...
It was like a show and prove type of thing.
Almost exactly. And it's kind of like the reverse psychology thing, where it's like she's not going to give you the validation. That's why a lot of kids are struggling right now. Let's be honest, America. I'm keeping it real. You got all these parents out there telling their kids that they're so special.
From the moment they wake up.
One. Yeah, exactly. But no, honey, this is a race out here.
Oh yeah, when they come out to the real world and nobody's here to
nobody's gonna come
stroke
and
their
hug
hair
you.
And tell them they're amazing.
Nobody's gonna do it. And so I think that if anything, it might have been a bitter pill for you to swallow as a kid, because I can imagine that would have been hard, or you might have wanted your mom to act a certain way. But I think that she groomed you for success.
She did. I was tough since I was a child.
Yeah. Well,
because at home it was just like no.
Right.
There was no babying. There was no hugging. There was no kissing.
That's what they call them now. Strong-willed. I have 2 strong-willed children, so I know. I always say to my husband, I'm like, we look at them sometimes and laugh, and I say, man, these
we
kids
got our hands full.
Me están sacando la cana, but I said it's worth every single second. And now you have this amazing opportunity to like start fresh with your mom as an adult woman. And let me tell you something. If you decide, when you decide, whatever you choose, that baby that you are gonna have, or that you guys can have,
smother my baby to death, because
girl, you won't be able to get to it because your mom is gonna take that baby and be like, no, you go to work, I got you, trust me. Everything that you think that you didn't get, your mom's gonna give it to that baby.
From your mouth to God's
I'm
ears.
telling you. Oh my gosh, so funny. Before we go, yesterday, Asher says to me, because I'm a very cuddly mommy. I'm always kissing my boys. I tell them.
I see you. I see how you are with them.
I do, because I want them to know just that they are so special to me. Like whenever I leave, I tell them I love you with my whole heart. Be a good boy.
That's amazing.
You've
never made that mistake, which comes along with ignorance of telling a kid like, oh my God, I don't know why you exist. Like,
oh yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like I heard that from uncles and aunts, and what I mean.
With frustration. It comes with poverty. It comes with struggling. It comes with
there's so many factors there.
With being young. My mom was like 24 with like 4 kids. Like a 24-year-old girl. I look up to them now. I'm like, you probably don't even know how to wash your ass.
From 17 to 29, my mom had 6 kids. 17 to 29, dude. I'm telling you.
Those were the best years of my life.
I know, me too. I'm like 29. I was just starting to get right. Like
seriously.
But anyway, Asher says to me yesterday, because I always wake up on the weekends and I ask him like, what do you want for breakfast? Let's have breakfast. And then like we plan our day. And Asher goes, Mommy, can I go back inside of your belly because I really liked it in there?
Aww.
I died.
Imagine he remembers or something.
Oh my gosh. I said to him, I said, Asher, my love. I said, you know what, Mommy, your mama loves you so much.
Aww.
And then I give him a hug. And I'm always aware my Noah's right there. I said, my Noah, come here.
You want to go in the belly too?
I know. I'm like, get over here. And then we do like a big group hug. But yeah, man, I mean, listen, words are important. You know, the physical affection is super important. I think it's very, very, telling when a young child does not get that affection at home. It shows in other ways.
It really does.
And, the best thing that you can do is just tell a kid, not necessarily that they're special or that, because I think all of us are special. I don't think that's helpful to them. Tell them that they're loved.
Yeah.
Tell them that they're good
important.
in their heart. That's what I always say to Noah and Asher. Sometimes they get in trouble, obviously. And I don't mince words, and I'm the tough one. I'm the disciplinarian.
Oh, you are?
I'm the one that puts it down.
Really? I didn't see that. I didn't see that one coming.
My husband is a mush. Please, the wind will take. He's like, whoa.
He looks so serious in all his pictures. I figured he's the disciplinarian.
No way. That guy turns into a ball of like oatmeal or a bowl of oatmeal. He's so mushy. But anyway, whenever they do something wrong, I always say to them, you're a good boy. And I know it. You have a good heart and you have a good brain, but you made a bad choice. And now we have a chance to make it over again. Because if you tell them, you're a bad boy, they're going to think I am a bad boy. They're going to want to do bad things.
Yeah, they are.
Because
you're instilling in them. They don't know who they are yet.
Yes.
You're telling them who they are.
And that's why I say that. And I read it somewhere. I forget where it was. I'm always reading like.
Me and you have all the gems. This is a good episode.
Do you
Andrew,
think
you
so?
missed it.
Do you think
I think
so? Okay,
I really
I'm not
think
like
so.
a run-on sentence right now, girl. Okay, because I started with like shampoo and toothpaste, and now
and here
I'm
we are. You're telling me how I'm gonna
psychology.
raise my children once they're here.
No, but we do. I just feel like it's important to share information like that. You may not be able to read the same things that I read. I don't even remember where I read it.
Yeah.
But I do remember reading at some point that you should never ever berate a child or tell them that they're bad or that they're not a good person.
Or that they're not wanted.
Or that they're not wanted or they're not worthy. So if that's the tiniest little gem that I can give you guys today, maybe take that with you. And hey, it even applies to your partner,
It does. People feel like, I don't know why people feel like because we're adults, things don't hurt.
Or if you're a man or if you're a woman, that like, because you're a tough girl or, I'm a tough woman, like that things don't hurt me. Things hurt me so much.
Oh, they sting.
Yeah.
They really do. Let's just be mindful of the things we say to people and how we make people feel.
Absolutely. Well, you made me feel great, girl. And I
so
promise
did
I
you.
won't sabotage
We
your
had a
diet
breakthrough
with
today.
I mean, we did, girl.
I'm taking them Girl Scout cookies. Stop playing with me.
I'll share my box of cookies with you. Next week, we'll go back into the
Pause.
salon. I know. I didn't even realize it. But no, we'll be back again. And don't forget to subscribe and rate and
follow us on social media at Spanglish on Twitter and Instagram, and give us 5 stars. We want to make sure we stay in the top. What is it, 200?
Yes, we want to stay in the top 200 forever and ever and ever. And also, if you guys have any questions, send them to us, lifeinspanglishpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, next week we'll step into the salon. Andrew wasn't here to print it.
That's okay.
Bye.
Bye.